The Coin Lady channel is pleased to have you back. Assuming all is well with you, today was a relatively flat day for the cryptocurrency market as a whole, but that didn't stop XRP from falling 4.6% on the day, at 51 cents exactly. The market has been very volatile since the Bitcoin ETF passed, and if things continue to go south, I wouldn't be surprised to see XRP return to the $30 range, where it has spent a lot of time in the past. And seeing that again wouldn't shock me in the least. In all other respects, Bitcoin is down a little under 1% and 42,800 Ethereum. Well, as of this recording, it's up $2,343. That's almost a % increase. Eleanor Turat, please. A brief was submitted in the depth box case by the SEC today, according to reports. In case you forgot, that was the one where the SEC warned about the dangers of debt boxes attempting to send money abroad. The courts will undoubtedly side with the regulating agency. What gives them the right to deceive? Debtbox wasn't actually attempting to launder or transfer funds out of the country. In fact, there was zero evidence to suggest that the SEC had conjured up the whole affair. Additionally, the company's financial accounts were frozen by the courts. If you were to freeze someone's bank accounts, it would impede even their day-to-day activities, so you can picture the chaos that would ensue. That's a very harsh action to do. According to Eleanor Turat, the SEC has decided to drop the case instead of facing penalties for deceiving the court to get a restraining order and asset freeze against that individual. First of all, it's not right that they may avoid punishment just because they abandoned the lawsuit. They ought to still face consequences for this. It is the belief of many males that this is the inevitable outcome. The following is outstanding, he says. Nothing like this has ever been seen before. In my opinion, after more than 30 years of representing clients against the SEC lawyers who were involved in the court-mandated deception may be subject to sanctions as a result of this voluntary dismissal. Absolutely. I mean, consider this, they file a lawsuit against you on the grounds that you're allegedly in violation of all these laws. The SEC, on the other hand, is the lawbreaker. They apparently believe that dismissing the lawsuit would solve everything. Simply atrocious conduct when Gary Gensler was in charge. Way of doing things there starts at the top and works its way down. According to John Deaton, Gary Gensler, this scandal is directly attributable to your leadership, or lack thereof. It appears that his thoughts align with mine here. A federal court characterized first-year attorneys as hypocrites who do not faithfully uphold the law. Ripple lost the century-long landmark lawsuit that cost them $200 million and harmed XRP investors, jeopardizing the future of one of the most prominent US-based fintech and cryptocurrency startups. Plus, that judge is scolding them. An appeals court determined that the lower court's instant rejection of your Bitcoin ETF application was unreasonable and capricious. Naturally, that was the grayscale case in which they utterly failed, notwithstanding those astounding results that would cause any attorney or leader to blush in shame. Your agency's legal team still won't stop ignoring reality. As for fairness, your dishonest attorneys are about to face the law they have vowed to protect, so you flee in an effort to protect them. As far as I'm concerned, the SEC and other regulatory bodies deserve our trust and support in times like these. We must presume that they are looking out for our best interests. If you or I were to appear before a judge like that in court, we should face heavier punishments when it is shown that they are not up to scratch. The consequences that we would face from the SEC would be substantially more severe, my friend. Furthermore, I would like to know whether someone would be held responsible. Everyone is being terrorized by them. You end up spending a ton of money on legal fees and all these damages when you take someone to court. This court case will not cost you a dime. The SEC side's lawyers get good salaries, while the judges spend a lot of time and energy claiming they lack the necessary legal training for these matters. They must be held responsible for their actions. Who is that? I have no idea. This announcement was tweeted to me. You know what the CEO of PayPal stated around 2 weeks ago? We're all sitting here wondering, what is it, as we prepare to shock the world? Because X is getting into payments, is it possible that you two will form a partnership? Perhaps something is happening there? Could you tell me what it is? Ended up being absolutely nothing, and then today, it was disclosed that PayPal sacked 9% of their personnel. About 2,500 workers think this is the kind of thing Gary Gensler should pursue. I suppose you're attempting to boost your stock price by giving the impression that something exciting is coming, but in reality, only 9% of your workers are on board. That's not shocking, it's not exciting, and it's certainly not good news. We are beginning to observe an uptick, which is something we have been discussing on this channel before. As time goes on, be careful with your money. In my opinion, that will happen more often. I made a video yesterday that goes into more detail on the matter. If you're interested, you can see it here. Now, Standard Chartered said today that they expect the Ethereum spot ETF to be authorized in May. To those who haven't seen it yet, it explains why we anticipate it may. It seems, nevertheless, that this is beginning to take shape. The same folks are responsible for it as well. As a stepping stone to the larger crypto market, BlackRock is attempting to get their immune TF in the door. It appears as though the SEC lacks authority and strength in this area. They appear feeble. Financial behemoth BlackRock has decided to dive headfirst into the cryptocurrency sector because they see this as their golden opportunity. Watching how this unfolds is going to be fascinating, especially because the SEC is unable to stop them. Just as with the Bitcoin ETF, the only way to know for sure is to wait for its approval and announcement. However, I believe that might be a significant one, since we will be in the post-havening period, when the market is expected to start showing signs of improvement. Furthermore, that would be yet another really positive development for the cryptocurrency market as a whole. Keep in mind that this is simply a small step toward the larger goal of incorporating the crypto asset class into conventional banking. Of course, not every token will be tradable on brokerages. However, the vast majority will be able to do so through their respective exchange-traded funds or other unbundled products. Currently, I'm listening to Lynn Alden. She's one of the best crypto and Bitcoin analysts working today. I highly recommend her. Additionally, she found Bitcoin ETF to be the most uninteresting thing. And crypto goes against the grain of popular belief. While she remains skeptical that the ETF launch will spark a huge bull run, she does concede that, over the course of several years, this will bring billions of dollars more into the cryptocurrency market, which will increase its value exponentially. Thus, the entire crypto industry isn't surging to 100,000 right now. It does, however, pave the way for future exponential expansion. She has my full support. In the grand scheme of things, this asset class has taken a giant leap forward. Right now, it's not like it's on Donkey Kong, and the majority of people, in the lead up to that event, it's not either/or. She was trying to convey this idea. The other option was to go parabolic, meaning we would reach 100,000 the following day. Alternately, everyone was planning to sell, following the ETF. Also, the huge sell-off that was expected never materialized. By the way, isn't that basically how it works? For example, in turbulent trading, the option that nobody is choosing usually turns out to be right, even if it was option C in the original set of 3. This happens when everyone chooses option A and option B. What will the Federal Reserve do now? Are interest rates going to be reinstated? We all know the Fed will have to cut rates eventually, but how soon will they begin the process? The prevailing opinion seems to be that there is no urgency to do so, because there is no obvious negative impact on the economy. Also, they're also worried about starting a chain reaction of extreme enthusiasm that would lead to a return to square one, skyrocketing prices, and an influx of capital. Their goal is to maximize their progress. In my opinion, the Federal Reserve waited much too long to begin tightening, and here is why. Allow matters to escalate. They need to begin easing restrictions immediately, else, they will make the same error backwards. It makes no difference to me if others bring out obvious issues. The world is not without its issues. There are fissures in the system that are about to burst, as we witnessed today with PayPal's decision to lay off 9% of its employees. And if they drag their feet, we're in for a major setback from which you won't be able to swiftly recover. My opinion is that they will take it to 4 before they even begin to loosen up a bit, although I do think they should start by removing the boot from everyone's neck. And without a couple of mounts, something will break. Remember how everyone was talking about how the metaverse was the wave of the future during the bull run? Well, it seems like a lot of people are starting to lose interest in this concept, which is going to be a bit of a problem. It cannot be overstated. This is ridiculous. You can tell that the newly released Apple Vision headset is a very artificial product in a lot of ways. It still requires some finishing touches. It's not quite ready. It's a cumbersome, hefty object that will cause neck pain when worn on the head. This ridiculous battery that you're carrying about with you is still there. Clearly, it is not the final result. Why are they acting in this way? Why don't they hold off till they fine-tune that thing? Because right now, they can't. I can assure you that the future will be built on the metaverse, blockchain AI, and Web 3. They are also aware that they must enter this place. They need to corner this market share regardless of whether that product is finished or not. Never slumber on the metaverse, it will scream back to life at some point. In my opinion, Apple's most recent action strongly suggests that. He made an intriguing announcement on Twitter today, saying that the countdown to the vote on the AMM amendment is currently at 26. There are just 3 more to go, so we will succeed, everyone. We need this to happen because, first of all, it's a crucial feature that the XRP ledger is missing, compared to other blockchains. Regarding XRP chain liquidity, I believe that the second point is crucial. And this will significantly contribute to that. For the simple reason that there isn't a lot of liquidity when you get a deck deal. Jed McCaleb must have known someone on the other side was interested in buying his coins unless he was throwing millions of them at it. In my opinion, though, the XRP ledger will benefit far more from that in terms of chain activity. And if we can combine this with the addition of some intriguing assets to the ledger, like major stable coins, and the construction of bridges, with the hope of successful projects built on the XRP ledger, their coin trading, which they are actively pursuing, could make this a major hub of liquidity on the XRP ledger, one of the largest in the world. Do I intend to use this hacky? Yes, I intend to. But it isn't the reason I am ecstatic. I believe the potential for fascinating things to be built once this feature is available, and the rate at which developers will implement it, is exponential. Stable currency, intriguing assets, and practical applications are the one thing we need to lock in again. I see this as a significant improvement. Ripple will also benefit from this, as it will address one issue with their on-demand service. When you convert XRP to dollars, yen, or any other fiat currency, these exchanges will charge you a fee known as liquidity. On top of that, it's almost free if we can accomplish it all on-chain. The effect is immediate. Pretty quick. I believe they can dial it in with all that on-chain data, and use those pathfinding algorithms, ripples, and payment methods to create a far better system with a greater probability of success. Like the Bitcoin ETF, this one is massive, but I won't announce it as soon as it's greenlit. It sets the stage, which is vital, and I can't wait for this to finally be finished, because XRP is going to surge. I see. Here is the main point. It appears like Ripple performed an excellent job of rolling this out, since we are very near, and these validators took their time to review all the data to ensure that we are ready to launch. Everything that needs to be done is being done. The formation of a new corporate company prompts discussions about decentralized theater, as discussed in the next article, Drama at Solana. For this reason, we must always ask ourselves if blockchains really are as decentralized as they appear to be. A reorganization is underway at Solana Labs, one of 2 blockchain-related legal entities, with the departure of about 45 employees. These individuals will be joining a new entity called AdsUp, where they will contribute to the decentralization of the Solana ecosystem, the maintenance and improvement of blockchain infrastructure, and the development of additional applications and products. The moment has come for us to establish a self-sufficient company. They are separating their business operations into a new corporation. When asked if this is related to the increased legal scrutiny of blockchain in the past year, Representatives from Solana Labs insisted that the spin-off was part of their overall strategy and that it was not an attempt at deception. I would say it's a little of both. On one hand, it's good for the blockchain in general, but on the other, they are likely trying to protect themselves from regulator scrutiny, especially with a large blockchain like Solana. This is important to keep in mind whenever we discuss blockchains. Our current location is irrelevant. Looking back at the XRP, Ledger, and Ripple days, everything was running well. On top of that, I believe we are having fruitful conversations about how to improve governance and other areas. In my opinion, we will reach that point, and the XRP ledger will improve. A historical analysis of the Bitcoin network reveals that China and Mongolia were the exclusive locations where mining occurred. That is not true at this moment. As we have seen, mining became far less concentrated and spread all throughout the world. Ethereum has made significant changes to the design of its blockchain, you know. All of this changes as time goes on. Accordingly, perfection is not what we are after. We have considered how to do things better and are seeking guidance on the correct path. No need to be concerned, Stephen Thomas. I recall returning to Bitcoin mining in the past when it was all in China. The future of excellent blockchain technology appears to lie in decentralization. Nevertheless, it remains to be seen if his prediction holds true in every case. Lastly, Medallic Buterin warns developers to be cautious when combining crypto with AI, yet, I have a feeling that this is just the beginning. As my friend Rohan points out, blockchain technology is the very foundation of artificial intelligence. The co-founder of Ethereum is starting to warm up to the idea of AI and cryptocurrency interacting, but he cautions developers to exercise caution. Artificial intelligence has diminished crypto's appeal in recent years. The cryptocurrency market is going to explode, as we will witness. When AI starts roaring up, people will forget about it. The metaverse isn't something you consider. Everything matters. Every piece is a stepping stone to the next chapter. As we move forward, you should not slumber over any aspect of these major financial and social cornerstones. Some blockchain initiatives have attempted to cash in on the current AI buzz, while Silicon Valley seems to be fixated on Web3 and Metaverse appears to be shifting its focus towards huge language models and applications like ChatGPT. You see, the intersection of blockchain technology with artificial intelligence is where it's at. Jerry Hall and Nick Black are two excellent resources for anybody interested in learning more about the subject. Be wary, though, because many fraudulent initiatives may employ AI-sounding names for their tokens, a tactic reminiscent of the dot-com boom of the early internet, in an effort to capitalize on the buzz. However, that is happening quite a bit. Know that, but also know that investing in crypto AI startups is likely to have monstrous potential. Additionally, they are two excellent resources. Using the analogy of a game, Buterin shared his ideas on where crypto and AI tech might meet in the future, while also cautioning that there might be obstacles. He classified the possible intersections between blockchain and AI into 4 groups, with the most promising groups including uses of AI as a player. Quite far up. This group includes applications whose incentives originate from a protocol that requires human inputs. Predicted markets are one area where AI has shown promise in predicting future events. The regulations regarding the AI's or operator's compensation for its predictions can be codified in a blockchain-based system. In any case, he goes into great detail. If you're interested, you should read it. Simply make sure you comprehend the idea that blockchain isn't replacing AI. There's a lot of new stuff coming out, and we're simply trying to understand all of it. In the comments, please share your thoughts. Please subscribe and like as always. Goodbye for now.